We have had to remove cutscenes from this game, literally because watching or skipping or doing anything within a cutscene can potentially crash the game. Another thing, this game is very, very, very broken. If it doesn't crash at certain points, I'm going to be relatively disappointed because it likes to crash and it likes to break my heart. But this is Winx Club, we're here for an actual game, so I'm going to get ready to go. So if we are ready to go, time will come up in 3, 2, 1, go. So, I don't know a lot about the story of Winx Club, but from what I understand here, Bloom, our main character, which is this ginger lass right here, I don't know what she's doing in this park or anything like that. All I know for sure is that she's in a park with a rabbit, and we are chasing down this rabbit to, because it's our pet rabbit or something along those lines. But like I said before, there are no cutscenes in this game, but there are dialogue skips, and I'm going to be doing a lot of dialogue skips by going out of bounds. Unfortunately, there is no out of bounds in this level that I know of, mainly because a lot of this level is just climbing up of a mountain, which is this thing right here. So, another thing to note as well, movement in this game is very, very difficult to master, and sorry, I'm just navigating my way up this because there's certain little things that I'm doing to optimize my movement that you may overlook, to be honest with you, but this is quite difficult to navigate through when you haven't ran this game properly for a couple of months. But I have been derusting it and I have been getting some okay times with this, so I should be getting fairly decent final time in this run. Thanks, Eraser. I've just seen your comment in the chat. Yeah, so this game is relatively fun to speedrun. I know it seems like a bit of a meme, bit of a obscure game to run, but in the chat is somebody by the name of 7Eraser7 who convinced me into running this game, so this run is happening because of him, basically. So everybody say thank you to 7Eraser7, the bold idiot. So, we're almost at the end of this level, but at the end of every level there is a boss fight that we're going to have to do. And I don't remember the names of the bosses, so the boss that we're going to be coming up to now, it's a relatively simple tutorial boss. We only have our one attack magic spell, which is this like little fireball thing here. But to make the run a little bit safer during the course of it, I'm going to be picking up a couple of dragon seeds, which increase my health by 1 petal point. And this is the boss fight, and this is, this boss's name, at least to me, is 7Eraser7. Sorry buddy, I had to say it. So all we can do really is just shoot fireballs at him until he goes down into a crit state, and we hit him with another fireball. Hitting him in a crit state will do a lot more damage, and after he's been in the crit state he will wind up for a super attack that we have to block with the magic shield, otherwise we take massive damage. And there isn't really a lot of health refills in this game. The easiest way to refill your health is to collect a dragon seed, collect an orange flower, or save and reload the game. And that will give you your full HP. So you see that I'm just kind of like spinning in a circle as well whenever I'm firing. And that is to make Bloom shoot as straight as possible. Otherwise she can do some really random shots for no apparent reason. And that is the first boss over and done with. Very simple fight, not really a lot going on in that fight, but the more we play this game, the more complex fights will get. And I'll go a little bit more in detail about the combat later on. But right now, we're in a magical school for fairies. And what we're going to be doing is, what we're meant to do anyway, is we're meant to go around and meet a bunch of people who claim to be our friends. Except this out of bounds skip right here is named Friends Skip, because we don't want to actually meet our friends, because meeting friends is slow. So I'm going to go talk to this lassie right here, and she'll make us a dress. But she can't make us a dress right now because she's lost her scissors. So I'm going to have to use this plant pot here to get back out of bounds to go and find her scissors, because we can't actually get out of this room by any other means. So, excuse my throat. Now that we're back out of bounds, we need to go back to where we were before, and we're going to have to do that entire skip again after we've collected the pair of scissors. Now, I do have a backup save ready for this moment, because I am worried for one reason. For some reason, picking up a pair of scissors can crash the game, and I've already got a backup save ready to go for it in case it does happen, but hopefully we haven't crashed. Excellent, happy days. It'll crash on a PB pace run, but it won't crash in marathons. That's 2 out of 2 marathons I have not had scissors crash, which is great. So now we've got to go back to that lassie who will make us a dress, and we have to do that. I didn't talk about it before because I just did it too quickly, but we run into this lady right here in a specific way to push us into the bookcases, and then we run against the bookcases a certain way to push us out of bounds. And then we could just walk into the wall. And now we've got our dress. So, now that we've got a dress, going to use a pot again in the exact same way, just to get back out of bounds. And here we go, back onto the school dance. Because we come to the school right at a critical moment where there is a school dance going on. And we've got to look our best, which is why we had this dress made for us. I mean, I really don't know the story, by the way, so I'm just blabbering on here. If anybody has any story-related questions, ask 7 Eraser 7. And we've met this guy. I don't know what that name says. Does that say Brandon? But I'm looking at it and I'm just seeing Yugi. But yeah, we meet this Brandon guy slash Yugi slash Sky guy. Like, he has 3 names. Don't worry about it. But he is our love interest for the game, or the story of the game, or whatever. So now that the school dance is over and done with, we're going to go to our first lesson for this magical school. And we need to go and speak to the teacher of that to get out of this overworld so that we can go into the first level. Well, first level outside of the tutorial level, of course. Oh yeah, you can jump into loading triggers and you just hover there for some reason, for some random reason. Don't ask me why. This game's great. There's no problems with it whatsoever. I mean, it doesn't consistently break my computer every time I've played the game, so I don't know what's wrong with it. And this is the first level, so immediately we're going to go over to this tree, run into the tree for a little bit, and immediately we're out of bounds again. There are other means of getting out of bounds in these levels. It's just a lot easier and quicker to just hug that tree. And after we've hugged the tree for a little bit, we just go straight back in bounds, just about where the level trigger is, and actually go through it. I'm going to get shot there a little bit. It doesn't matter. I can get my HP back. No problem whatsoever. By, like I said before, saving, going up to the load, reloading, and straight away all my health is back. And I did that just for a little bit of safety because I'm going to do a faster skip here, which I could potentially take a couple of hits, but hopefully I don't. So I'm going to run over here, mash first person, cancel first person and the shield, and that will push me forward ever so slightly, but well enough that it'll push me out of bounds. And it's a little bit of a distance that you need to get on that, but it's quite consistent. Which is why this trick is abused, because I'm going to do it the exact same thing here. Just mash first person and shield, and straight away I'm out of bounds. And I'm doing this out of bounds here so that I can skip a lot of dialogue boxes. And really, I just don't want to go through dialogue boxes, because dialogue boxes contain the friends that we skipped meeting. So in terms of story, we don't really have a lot to do with these people anyway. So skipping them all is quicker, and it's related to the speedrun story of this game anyway. Nice frog. The camera doesn't really like to play nice with you in this speedrun. I mean, there's a lot of times where you're locked out of using the camera like now, but as soon as you run through it, like through a certain point, you get the camera back. But it's very finicky in how the camera likes to move, and it likes to throw cameras around a lot. So again, we're just going to be running through this level, abusing every bit of trick that we can, staying in the right spots so that we don't fall out of the map, and we don't go so far back into the map that we either pop back in bounds or hit a dialogue box, because dialogue triggers are quite big, to be honest with you. So again, you'll see me use this trick a lot. It's very simple to do. All I'm doing is I'm holding shield and I'm mashing the first person camera. And I'm holding forward as well, but I don't think it really matters too much because you still get teleported a little bit forward each time you do it. So I'm going to run back inbound here. I know there's a spider, don't worry about it. Because I'm just going to jump up here. Oh, I got trapped. It doesn't matter because I still save time. And just run around here. Yeah, there's another spider. We don't have to worry about him for the moment. And we're just going to run all the way through here. And this save point, just past this, is the next boss fight. And you can already see him there. So I'm going to save. I've lost a petal. I'm just going to load for the safety because I won't have another load for a while. And we're going to go straight into this here. Mash square because that lets us use our next attack quite quickly. And that is useful so that we can get a little bit of damage on him straight away. Block all the hits that he gives us. And now we've got the special that we wanted. And there we go. I want to do this. And if you'll watch his HP, it goes almost to 0. And that's the cycle that you want. And that is the quickest way that you can get through this boss fight, which is named Troll, I think. If I remember correctly. And there we go. That's Troll done with. So now that we're back in the overworld, we've got to go to our next level here. And the way that we get the next levels is through paintings. And to go through these paintings, which aren't activated yet, we have to get certain items. And the item that I need to get for this one is right here. And the combination is 3, 9, 2, 1. Don't ask me how I know that, it just is that every time. I just guess the RNG perfectly well the first time, and for some reason my game never changes it. Truthfully, that code isn't actually RNG, it just is 3921. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you also can't use your magic while you're in this fairy school, so that's why I had to use objects and people before to get out of bounds. So this is probably one of the hardest and longest levels for me to do, to be honest with you. There's a lot to do in this level. And the boss fight is quite hard as well. It's one of the boss fights that I kind of hate, to be honest with you. So we have to activate this tower and climb this tower to get much higher up through the level. Because the first part, you climb up a tower, and the next part is quite linear and quite straightforward, where you can use a little bit of out of bounds. But right now, there's not a lot I can do other than just spin the tower into the places that I need it. And listen for the sounds of the tower moving, so that I can get a potentially frame perfect lever activation. Because I can activate the lever even when the tower is spinning. But yeah, so what I need to do is I need to just optimize this segment. There is a little bit of a risk where you can fall off these stairs. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but the higher that we go, for some reason the camera likes to flip randomly on the, not this set of stairs, but the next set of stairs. So I'm going to quickly just spin this back round. It's another 3 lever pulls, but hopefully it shouldn't take too long. That was close. Not very good though, but still. That was slightly too early. So I lost a little bit of time on that one because I'm an idiot and tried to pull it too early. I'm just getting too cocky with that now. So I need this lever up here, and this is one of the spots where the camera can just randomly flip on you. I know it only turned a little bit there, but if you continue to run there, you can fall off the tower and just ultimately die. Which is not something that we want, because our last save was before the troll boss fight, which is not something that I want to do right now. So, and this is another staircase here where the camera likes to be a bit of a pain and try and throw you off. I got very, very lucky there. Like, very lucky. So we're going to first person through a door that we can't activate, if this one would let me do it. There we go. First person through here, this wall as well. I know I said that this was easy, because it is, but for some reason I'm being a little bit of an idiot with it at the minute. There we go. Hit the load trigger. And we're going to go on to the next boss fight, which is... I've forgotten what this boss fight is, actually. It's, oh yeah, Slugma. Yeah, here we go. So, this boss fight is quite dangerous, and I really should have taken the save, but saves are for the weak. So, and Sam Abam agrees with me, I've just seen his message. So, all I'm going to do is I'm going to try and hit his eyes so that I can get him into a crit state as soon as possible. And I'm going to use the powers of the friends that we skipped to my advantage here, as each of your friends has a different ability, special ability that you can use. The one I've got now is just a shield that stays up for a while. The one that I've got currently stored is a high damaging attack, which I want to use as soon as this guy goes into crit state. And I'm running out of magic. So these little orbs that I'm picking up, because I haven't actually mentioned this yet. I'm 2 bosses in, still haven't mentioned this. These little orbs that I pick up give you magic, and the black ones take away some of your magic, the blue ones give you a tiny little bit, and the pink ones give you a lot of it. So this is actually a really bad boss fight, so I'm getting very bad magic drops. So I'm just having to use everything that I can that's available to me, just to get as much damage output as I can. But what I want is that one, because that friend, I don't remember her name, Flora I think it is, she will refill both your magic and your HP. And I want to use that towards the end of the fight. There we go, and that's the Slugma fight done. So, now that we've finally done that level, Bloom has finally decided that we need to find out where our powers have come from. This is story related for some reason. And if we could see the cutscene, we would find out exactly what our parents say to us when we call them up to find out like where we got our powers from. But because we don't see the cutscene, I'll just tell you what happens. Our parents tell us that we're adopted. So... which isn't really quite nice. I mean, I would be quite frustrated in that kind of moment, so I'm going to just quite happily take my anger out on this spider right here. Smash through the dialogue boxes, because nobody wants to read story. Ignore the friends we skipped at the beginning of the run. Get it out of that. And we are going to be going to the next... where do I go here? Oh yeah, sorry. I don't go to the next level first. I go on a date with Yugi Boy. That's correct. I almost forgot that we need to go on a date. How could I forget? It's the most important part of the run. I mean, how can you go so quickly that you forget to go on a date? I mean, what kind of magical fairy girlfriend am I? I am terrible. Terrible magical fairy girlfriend.
Whenever you do have a minute, there's a few donations in the back burner.
No worries, read away.
Alrighty, we have $10 from Smathlex32 saying, "Stop being a coward and play Garshas."
Thank you, Smath.
And Kadarev donates $5 saying, "Piercing wind." So thanks, folks, for the donations.
Thank you, Ken.
We are just $15 away from 400. So let's get this during this run. I know you can do it.
Yeah, $15 more to get to 400. That is 100% possible, and I believe that this you guys can actually do it. You guys are great. Thank you, Smath. Thank you, Caddy, for both of those donations. You guys are absolute memas, and I love you both. So, now that we've just bullied a spider, I'm going to have to bully this dragon back into its pen for a little bit, because this dragon has an item that I need to progress a level. So, just ignore what I'm doing here. Yes, I am bullying a dragon, but it doesn't really matter, because it's necessary, okay? It's absolutely necessary. Get the item, and we're going to just continue along on the level as if nothing ever happened, because nothing happened. There's no proof that I bullied a dragon back into its home. You can't prove it. None of you can prove it. There is no VOD. So we're going to plant the little seed there that we got from the dragon. Save, reload, and that bean sprout is now fully grown so that we can just climb up without having to wait for somebody to grow the seed themselves. So it just saves minor seconds, but it's more optimal to do so. Don't worry about these guards. These guards are absolutely great at their job. Trust me, they should have seen me by now, yes, but don't worry about it. What happens if I collect 60 gems in a level? Well, what actually happened is Bloom will do just a little cheer kind of dance thing, saying that, yes, you got all 60 gems, well done, you're a beast. Oh crap, I don't even know where I am anymore. There we go, so that's the door, that's where I am, there we go. Got the angle now. Oh, I got caught. It doesn't matter though, because I just spawned back in the door. And there we go, I'm through where I need to be now. So I'm going to take a save here, because this next fight is very, very hard. And I know I can open these elevator doors. I'm lazy, so I'm not going to do it and just clip into the load trigger. Clip through this wall here. And I think it's this angle. Yes, it is this angle. I am right. Excellent. Happy days. Turn this way, and this is the boss fight that completes the level. So, the first phase, she does absolutely nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. Like, we just have to wail on her. And I did take the save specifically for the boss fight here. And I don't know about you, but I'm really concerned about this boss fight. So, this boss here can be very, very good to you or very, very bad to you. And you have to kind of manipulate what you're doing with your magic to get out the most damage possible. So, there's two witches that you need to defeat here. Darcy and Stormy. Give me 2 seconds. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to hit both witches 4 times before I'm getting the 5th hit on a witch. And that is so that I can get the most amount of damage out before I have to use a piercing wind attack during their crit state. After they've been in crit state, I'm holding shield, pausing the game, and then waiting for a couple of seconds, because while I'm paused, their special attack animation is progressing, but the only thing that is not progressing is my magic counter, so I will not lose magic while I'm paused. And I listen to the music to help me know when's the best time to come out of that. That should be it. I'm not getting very good magic drops here. I mean, I had some good ones to start off with, but I'm not really getting that much now, which is unfortunate because you do use a lot of magic in this boss fight. Which is why having the shield pause buffer thing really helps with your magic and saving as much magic as possible. Because like I said, you can get some really bad magic RNG in this fight. And unfortunately, at the minute, I am a little bit... I mean, I'm still at a comfortable level right now, but it can all go very, very bad in one moment. So this is a little shielded and attack thing that they do. I can't really do any damage to them while they're in that. So I just have to wait for them to finish what they're doing. Collect all the magic that they do. That they drop. This is actually really good. They've dropped a couple of nice bits of magic here, so I'm just going to quickly pick that up. It'll take one more cycle to beat them, and this is actually a fairly average run for these two. And that's Darcy and Stormy fight. So, now that we're done with Darcy and Stormy, we can just go straight into the next level. I don't really look at my health, but I'm just going to quickly go back and take a safety save because the Darcy and Stormy fight is very, very long. and I don't want to have any sort of problems going into this next level, because Sparks is a very, very long level. Other than that, the only thing to note about this next level is that we are not going to have our magical powers for a good 90% of the level. We get our powers at the very, very back end of the level, and we can't use the first person magic shield to get out of bounds. So we have to use everything else to our advantage to get out of bounds. So while I'm running up to this next level, if you got anything to mention, take it away.
Indeed, I have. We have a $5 donation from somebody calling themselves 7Bold7, saying, "Hello, son. Don't forget to mess up in Sparks because I don't want to adopt a new kid. By the way, you're not adopted. Love you." And that puts us at $390. So we're just $10 away from 400. Come on, folks. We can do it during this run. I believe in you.
Thank you, 7Bold7. No, he is not my dad, before any of you people ask. It's a joke within the community, and it's kind of like, since I started running this game and he showed me this game, like, it's kind of like I've become his Winx son in a way, and it's a joke within between ourselves, which is quite funny, to be honest with you. It's funny for ourselves, so thank you for that donation, mate. Really, really appreciate it. So, like I said before, we don't have our powers during this section of the run. So right now, you saw me just run against a pillar before, and that's how I got out of bounds, because running against objects is very, very helpful in terms of getting you out of bounds. And for some reason, that wall doesn't exist, so that we can just run straight out of bounds right there and have absolutely no problem with that one. Any higher up the wall and you're going to struggle to get out of bounds because the wall is actually there, but at the very bottom of it, the wall just is non-existent, so you can just crawl out of bounds straight away there and get to the end of the level through the back door. So straight away, what I'm going to do here is, well, I should really save first. Because this next skip is quite dangerous, to be honest with you. It can very easily fail. And hopefully I get it first try. I really hope to get it first try. And I also picked up another dragon seed for that extra HP of health. So this may look a little bit weird, and that's because it is. But all I'm doing is I'm jumping against the wall ever so slightly. It's raising me up a little bit at a time, as you can see. But I need to go to a certain point of the wall so that I can run out of bounds where the walls stop existing. It stops existing in a very specific point. And if I go too far to the right, I will have to reload the save, because you can't really progress after that point, because you take far too much damage and we'll end up dying. If I fall down to the left, I will lose control of the camera and will have to reset due to not having control of the camera and not being able to see where the hell I'm going. But right now, getting to the point where we're just about there and I've lost control of the camera. So I can fall back down, lose a point of health, open the door and just try that again. So unfortunately I didn't get a first try, but oh well, I'm just going to have to quickly do this again here as well. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but hopefully I can get a second try. It's not too odd to fail it at least once. It's a very, very precise trick to do because of the camera, and that's literally all it is. Like, if you lose control of the camera, you have to reset it here. If I was to fall to the right, I would have to reset by loading the game, but thankfully, because I lost control of the camera and I was still so far out of bounds that I was actually on top of the level, I could fall back in bounds to reset rather than have to waste more time. Eraser makes a good point there. This is legit the worst trick in the run. It takes a long time to do. It is very precise to do, and you, like I say, if you move ever so slightly, you're going to fall as well. I should have mentioned that before, but yeah, it's so precise and it sucks. On top of that, though, I'm still saving time, other than doing the puzzle. So that's how much time this trick actually does save. It saves a lot of time. The puzzle is really easy to do. The puzzle, like, they're not difficult puzzles throughout the entire game. And there we go. I've gotten it second try, so I'm happy with that. So we have to stay so far out of bounds that we don't fall on top of the level. But because of which, it's hard to see where you are, because as you can see, the level is loading and deloading as I'm running around it. So it's hard to remember exactly where you are. So it's critical to know exactly where you are, what you're doing, and where the level is in terms of where you have to go. It's a lot of memorizing the level as a map rather than just running through a level sort of thing. And also, for some reason, you can pick up snowballs. I didn't bother because snowballs are pretty useless in this thing. And you've met that orange figure, and now we're speaking to our friends again. That orange figure is our sister. I made a mistake at UKSG where I called that orange figure our mother, and I was totally incorrect on that. So I do apologize to any of you who did see my UKSG run. I have learned, I have listened to your YouTube comments, I know that she's our sister now, so I'm sorry. So, I know I've done a lot of saving in this level, and that's because this level has been very dangerous. But because we're at the end of the level now, I'm going to take another save and run straight into the boss fight. And this is Yeti. Yeti can either be very friendly or very mean to you. And hopefully he's really nice. I want him to continuously do this ice breath attack, because this is how we get on the most magic. And he's not really being that nice to me at the minute. No, he's giving us a little bit there. When he goes down to pick up snowballs, I can use a piercing wind attack. And what that will do is it'll give me an opportunity to use the piercing wind attack, which does a little bit more damage. Block this special attack. And this is the kind of loop I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for the breath loop. So that I continuously just pick up a lot of magic whenever he does the breath. And then as soon as he picks up snowballs, piercing wind. Doesn't matter, I can take a couple of hit points of damage. The only thing that's really going to bother me is if something like that happens and I can't actually do anything. So I'm going to have to use Golden Pollen quickly, then piercing wind, which didn't work. Because an enemy's crit state will not stay around for forever, so you have to be very quick. I picked up that black mana orb at the worst possible time, so I lost a cycle there because I didn't get any crit damage out. So a lot of this game is knowing how much mana you have, how much mana you can waste, and how much mana you can use for piercing wind attacks, because piercing wind attacks are actually very expensive on magic. I know I'm going quiet here a little bit, but that's because I'm concentrating on the fight itself, reading its patterns and everything like that. I know it seems very trivial and simple, and I lost a cycle there because I messed up as well. So I lost a high crit state damage debuff as well. So this is going to be a very, very, very slow fight. And if you dropped a little bit more magic, I would really appreciate it, because he's not being very friendly at the moment. I had just enough magic to cast a piercing wind there. I'm being very generous with my shield as well, literally because I want to save the most HP as possible. He's not dropping any magic, and I kind of need some magic now. That's good enough. Need some magic before I can do that. That's great. Thank you, Yeti. And that's what I wanted. So I knew that I was about to be able to break both of his teeth there. And I knew that would put him into a crit state. And I didn't want to waste another cycle. So I waited for him to drop some magic first before I broke his teeth. And this is the kind of loop that I want. I've been saying that a lot, but this is legit the easiest way to just get through this fight. Great. I missed that there, so it's fine, but it's okay because I'll be able to get a health recovery quite quickly after this boss fight. Quickly do a piercing wind there. Hopefully he'll give me some decent magic here. He hasn't, so I'm just going to have to wait him out a little bit to get some magic back. He's not being very kind at this part of the fight. It's not very nice. Like, not getting good magic RNG is terrible in this kind of run. Should be about to break soon. Come on, I need a little bit more magic. There we go. That was a terrible fight. That was a very, very terrible fight. But we got through it first try. We didn't have any deaths or anything like that, so it's okay at least. So, the last thing to do is we're going to the last level now. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly run in this room, get a dragon seed, because that will refill my HP, and then we're just going to continue on to get into the next level. So I need to go and speak to these people here. Speak to the tutorial boss for some reason. And then we can continue on with the level. Which is quite a straightforward level, to be honest. But it can be a little bit punishing if you don't know what you're doing. So I'm going to take a quick save here just because we're past the Yeti fight. Go up to the second door here because that's the one I want to go through. First piercing glitch through it. Could do it properly. Like that. And then load into the next level. Well, next part of the level. Speak to Riven because I don't know why. But we're going to run up against this door now. Do the exact same thing to get out of bounds. Turn this way, I think it is. Yep, that's the way I need to go. And then we just run up until the next load, so that we can continue on with the run. I know I mentioned it before, but it's very hard knowing exactly where you are when you're out of bounds. Don't worry about that crab people. Don't worry about the crab people. We're just going to continue on and get to where we need to go. Because now we actually have to kill some crab people. Now crab people are actually quite dangerous. But thankfully, for some magical reason that I don't really know why, if we stand on these stairs, these crab people just don't know where we are. Like, I can just continuously attack here. They will not see us whatsoever. So I need to kill both of them to progress the level, because I will be able to interact with this fire to progress to the next section after I've killed both the crab people. I don't know why these crab people are blocking my ability to do that. I'm sure there's a story related reason in there somewhere, but right now I don't know it. And I probably never will know it. Yeah, these guys like to move around a lot as well, and it gets a little bit annoying. Come on, come on. Should be a couple more. There we go. So now that we're out of that room, we're going to just run straight away left and speak to this lassie right here. Don't know why. And then we're just going to camp out on the forest floor with good old Yugi boy. Eraser, I will not watch the show any more than I have to. So now that we've done that, we're actually on to the final boss fight of the game. And because it's a final boss fight, and because that level, I know it seemed relatively short, but it's quite a long-winded level, and there's a very, very good chance I could die to this boss fight because of the strat that we use. So I'm going to quickly grab a safety save. I know it's a little bit of a time waste to go all the way over here and grab a save, but at the same time, I'm going to just take it just for the how easy it is to die on the last boss fight. Because we use a strat which we take damage to get a higher special bar to use the special more times. Like maybe every 2 cycles you can use it. So this is the final boss fight, Icy. I don't know what a problem is, but straight away I'm going to just run into this thing here, and that whenever you take damage it increases your special bar. So I'm going to purposely take that damage there just to get a little bit of extra on my special bar straight away. That is not right, I shouldn't have done that. I thought she was going to do something else. Piercing Wind her flower. And now the special bars were exactly where I wanted it, so I'm just going to Piercing Wind again on a crit state. One thing to note is that you can't chain Piercing Winds together. You have to have a small gap between a Piercing Wind of like maybe a second or 2 seconds. And that's so that the game can actually cast it again. So I'm just going to dodge these now because I'm into the section that I want to be. So I'm going to Piercing Wind that, and that's going to give me my special bar, which does a lot of damage. It also refills my magic bar, and it also refills my HP. So hopefully I can get that dragon every 2 cycles. So she's going to do a little cloud thing again. Grab that, just for the extra damage. Now she's going to do an ice ball thing, which give me a lot of special if I block her with the shield. Going to do it again. Hopefully get 2 hits. Yes, I got 2 hits, and that's pushing me up above higher half special bar. Problem is, I don't have enough magic for a Piercing Wind, so I'm just going to have to Fireball there, because there's nothing I can do about the magic at that point. I have to use a Piercing Wind to break her out of a flower, so I had no other option at that point, because I have literally got no magic whatsoever. Waiting for these to despawn so I can collect some nice quick magic. She's not being very friendly, Icy, today. Like, she's really not being friendly at all. Like, she's doing this a lot, which is great for gathering special bar. And I've just died because I had no magic left. I knew it. I knew it could happen. Which is why the estimate is what it is. Because it's very possible to take a death on Icy. It's unfortunate, but I just wasn't getting any mana. So my shield ran out at that point. I'm glad I took the safety save. So let's give this another go. Take that, just to get a little bit of extra special bar. Just wail on her for a little bit. Dodge that one. Piercing Wind her. Wait for the Piercing Wind to recharge, and throw another one at her. And I'm just going to try and loop this for the good remainder of the fight, to be honest with you, as, like I said before, Icy is a very dangerous fight. Because of the strats that we use. So my special's a little bit low, so I'm going to take that damage there. Just to get a little bit more. A little bit more special, because I have a feeling she's going to go into Ice Flower soon, which she did. Gonna have to take another one, and then I can just Dragon. Like I say, I'm okay with taking like a little bits of damage because I know I'm going to get the health refill from Dragon. So I'm trying to be quite generous with what I'm doing. Hopefully I can loop that attack that she does, the snowflake attack, where she spawns a lot of ice crystals. Hopefully I can manage to loop that quite a bit, because they usually drop some decent magic. That's fine. That's fine. Should be going into crystal soon. There we go. Doesn't matter that I got hit by that, because I can use Dragon even while I'm frozen. And if I play this right, I should be able to do this in another cycle, I guess. I want to dodge that snow cloud as much as possible, because that Icy can do her own ice dragon with that, and I don't want to get hit by that at all. So hopefully this gives me some good magic, which it has. I'm back up to full, and it should be another Dragon cycle, and then I get to cast another Piercing Wind, and that could potentially kill, I guess, depending on how much damage I can dish out here. I don't think this is going to kill, so it should be one more cycle after this. I think she's going to have just enough HP. Yep, it's going to be another Piercing Wind cycle. But time is coming up, and it should be up fairly soon, depending on how much good luck I get here. So just going to circle here, put her into Ice Crystal. Cast a Piercing Wind. Doesn't really matter about these orbs. I'm just going to block through that just to be on the safe side. And time is coming up. 1, 2, 3. There you go. That's time right there. And that is Winx Club. Any percent, which is a fairly fun run to do. Only just a sub 45, which is... It's not great, but the estimate is forgiving literally for the amount of RNG that you can get in this run. I had a Death to Icy there, and to having a Death to Icy and failing the Spark skip once, getting a 45, sub 45 is still pretty good, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad either, to be honest with you. We timed this run using in-game time, which is what I'm reading that off. If I have a look at the RTA, I've got 46.54, which isn't great, but as an RTA time, but I'll take it for a marathon. It's a great set piece, to be honest with you. It's sub-estimate, but it could have been a lot better, mainly because of RNG. But no, shout out to SpeedCon for letting me run this here, especially with all the technical difficulties we had at the start of the thing. I do apologise for that, but like I say, Winx Club loves to destroy my PC. Shout outs to Eraser, Smack and Caddy for being in the chat. I love you guys. Eraser, thank you for showing me this game. Thank you for teaching me this game. Smath, you better run this soon, buddy. Caddy, you're awesome. And good luck on your runs later in the day, mate. Other than that, I've been Grizz. If you want me to teach you this game, please don't ask, because I'm not gonna. Ask Eraser. And I'll see this. Oh yeah, Zonovis. I didn't even see you in the chat. I love you, buddy. Zonovis actually runs Winx Club GBA, so if you want to see more Winx Club, definitely check him out as well. And I'll see you guys later. Take care, enjoy the rest of the marathon, and let's reach $400 relatively quickly. See you guys later. Take care.